Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another one. What I'm looking at is a beer from Treehouse Brewing Company. This is Twilight of Autumn. Clocks in at 8.6% alcohol by volume. It's a double IPA. I have had a couple of beers from the Autumn series, including Autumn itself. There's just a beer called Autumn. I've also had another beer from the series that had a very similar label with the woman on it, but it was like a black label. I can't remember the name of that one, but I have had Autumn, and I've had another beer from the Autumn series. So this is Twilight of Autumn, um, and they put these types of beers out every fall. So last year I bought a lot of the Treehouse beers that were in this series. So you can look back on my channel and find them all. Um, if you so desire, I even have a Treehouse Brewing Company playlist. So all of the Treehouse reviews are right there on that list. Anyway, 8.6% was canned on the 10th. It is the 16th today, so this beer is almost a week old. Super fresh. This beer, there's a big description on it, but the only thing that's really relevant is that it is Galaxy hopped. It is hopped with Galaxy hops. Okay, let's go ahead and pour it up. I have not had this beer. I've had a lot of the beers in the Autumn series, but not the Twilight of Autumn. And I didn't pour it super aggressively, but it didn't take much. As you can see, it's got a nice head going there. 3.5 finger. Pretty white looking, creamy head. Looks like a wonderful double IPA from Treehouse, as they pretty much all are for the most part. Orange juice with a head, as I like to say. The aroma, I'm getting some guava with this one, which is nice. I always appreciate the guava notes off of the aromas and the flavors from these Treehouse IPAs. Something that Treehouse does with, well, Galaxy hops in this case, but they put off a lot of guava notes, which I really love. There's kind of a tangerine note in there. There's a little something weird, a little funky, almost like overly ripe, mango, or there's something in there that I don't know if it's off or if it's just different, and I'm having a hard time describing it. But it's like a really ripe fruit, tropical fruit. I don't think it's pineapple. I think it's mango. So guava, really ripe mango, slight citrus, slight wheat bready malt, aromas. That's pretty much it. It smells like a winter, and at 8.6%, you're not picking up on any alcohol whatsoever. I wasn't expecting that. You don't pick up alcohol with these double IPAs, even the triple IPAs, because there's just so much hop action on the aroma, and then on the palate as well. So typically these smell, drink, finish like much lower ABV beers. We'll see if this one is the same. It smells like a winter. So without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers. Guava hits you right up front. Lots of guava and tropical fruit. There's a little bit of mango in there. Not so much pineapple. Maybe a little passion fruit. There's some other kind of exotic tropical fruit in there. It's really nice. That weird kind of overly ripe type fruit note that I was picking up on the aroma is not translating to the palate. It doesn't. It's not like cloyingly sweet or off in any way with any weird, like rotten or overly ripe type fruit notes. It doesn't have that at all on the palate. Mm. Yeah, guava, a little tangerine citrus. mango, but not overly ripe, rotten, spoiled mango. Good mango. Nice and bready in the middle of the sip. And then the thing with this is that it drops off quickly. It is bitter. It is juicy and sweet and malty in the center with the bread notes, and then it really has a bitter, almost a medicinal bitterness on the back end, which I'm not a huge fan of that bitterness. It's really pleasant all the way through, and then you swallow it down, and it's like you bit into aspirin or something. It's got a medicinal bitterness, which, is not my favorite when I get those types of bitterness qualities from the hops. Arrogant Bastard, for example, medicinal bitterness, no flavor from it, just bitterness. And there's a little bit of that here. It's so flavorful and enjoyable on the front end that I'll allow it for a beer like this, but it does take away a little bit for me. Let me get another sip. Let me just make sure that that's what's going on here. I'll tell you what, I'm still getting over a little bit of a head cold. I can smell and taste great, but I want to clear my sinuses, and I'll get right back to you. All right, so that's done. We're back. Same aromas I was getting. Let's see if the bitterness has developed or changed. No. It's still a little bit too bitter for me on the finish and almost medicinal in that regard. But other than that, it's dynamite. I just don't like the really bitter IPAs, and this one has... I don't mind bitter IPAs, like if you have a nice like Lagunitas IPA, you get that West Coast pine, grapefruit, resinous type note and bitterness from the hops. But with this one, you get wonderful hop flavors all the way throughout. The guava, the tropical fruit notes, and the citrus are all there. But on the back end, they don't finish with that flavor. You just get the bitterness from the hops. I'm sure they use other hops just, other than Galaxy, but Galaxy is the highlighted hop with this particular beer. And it's a little too medicinal, and it just kind of lingering with the bitterness for me to really give it that world-class rating. It's still a solid A, but I'm going to go 94 out of 100. It's which is a great score. It's a solid A. But in the world of Treehouse, with all of the wonderful beers that I've had from them, this is kind of on the lower end for their IPAs, their double IPAs. It's really great. It's an amazing beer. As you can see, just looking at it, you're dealing with quality here. And it's 6 days old. It's super fresh, so there's no issues in the freshness department. It's really a wonderful beer. It's just, and a lot of this is personal tasting preferences. If you like a little bit more bitterness, then you might like this a little bit more than me. But and it's not so much the bitterness as it is the medicinal quality of the bitterness. Medium body, medium carbonation. I'm burping here. 8.6%. The alcohol is masked exceptionally well, but it is medium bodied, going on heavy, but it's not heavy. It is on the medium side. It's a wonderful beer. I highly recommend it. I think that all of these seasonal beers that they put out every year, I think you should try them all because they're all winners. Glad to add another one to the autumn series that I've now tried. So Twilight of Autumn, 8.6% alcohol by volume, 94 out of 100, a solid A. Buy it, try it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Till next time, everybody. Cheers.